Will Porterfield hit his first Championship 100 since he joined Warwickshire back in 2011, as his side worked hard to keep in touch with Somerset on another rain-affected day at Edgbaston. This match may not have suffered as much as some of the games across the country this week, but plenty of time had been lost by the time that the third day of this contest began on time, with the home side on 78 for 1 in their first innings in reply to Somerset's 411. Porterfield and Ian Westwood, who both resumed their knocks in the 20s, were soon adding to their personal tallies as Warwickshire got off to a very solid start on a pitch which has been enjoyed thus far by a whole host of batsmen. 2 fours off successive balls from Craig Overton saw Westwood to his 50, his first of the season in what is only his second innings in the LV County Championship this year. That was his 8th four, and it took it to his half-century off 120 deliveries. He played some fine shots in that, as these pictures have shown you. If the Somerset attack dropped in too short, then the ball sat up and asked to be hit. And if it was pitched up, then it gave these two left-handers plenty of time to drive through the ball, as Porterfield did here. His third 50 from 7 knocks in the 4-day game this summer arrived with a 3 off Jamie Overton. The Irish skipper has been more consistent for his county so far this season, and he'd used up 89 balls to reach his latest personal mark. He'd struck 6 fours from those deliveries and was ensuring that Somerset's score of 411 was not one that was some way out of reach. The visitors weren't always at their best with the ball in their hands. Jamie Overton again struggled with overstepping, and neither Porterfield nor Westwood failed to make the most of any hittable delivery. The visiting attack tried all they could to upset the batsmen's rhythm, but they were equal to almost all that was thrown at them. Their partnership moved into the 150s, and Westwood, batting extremely well in very gloomy conditions in Birmingham, closed in on what would have been the 13th 100 of his career. On 99, he would have loved to have received this kind of delivery from Peter Trigo. As it was, his eyes lit up when Johan Myburg dropped in short. Perhaps it was just a little quicker than normal, and Westwood was denied his ton by just 1 run when he nicked behind to Craig Kieswetter. Westwood was left waiting for his first Championship 100 since August 2012. It was a heartbreaking moment for the opener, but he had at least put on 163 runs with Porterfield for the second wicket, which now had his side on 203 for 2 when the 18-year-old Sam Hain came in for just his second innings in the first-class game. He made a very impressive 42 on his debut against Middlesex earlier in the month, and he was soon looking the part again. Porterfield would have helped him from the other end. Of course, he was well set, but may have been a little concerned as he approached 3 figures for the first time in 4 years in Championship cricket. His previous best for Warwickshire was the 87 he scored against Durham in his first season for the county in 2011. So what a moment this must have been as he sprinted through for the single he required to get to his ton, his first in 44 matches and 69 innings for the county. A monkey had been removed from his back as he gleefully raised his bat after batting for nearly 4 hours, in which he'd faced 200 balls and hit 11 fours. He perhaps looked relieved, and having got the job done at last, he played some attacking shots to keep the board ticking over. He and his young partner were able to add a further 87 runs for the third wicket, which put Warwickshire only 121 runs behind with 8 wickets in hand. Then, before the players were forced off by the weather again, Somerset came charging back. First, they finally removed Porterfield for 118. Craig Overton found a little movement with the second new ball, and that was enough to trap the Irishman in front. He left with a total on 290 for 3. 5 overs later, and after just 4 more runs had been added, Hain pulled a short ball from Trigo to Nick Compton to go for 32. And on the same score of 294, Craig Overton struck again, Atiq Javid edging him to James Hildreth. From nowhere, 3 wickets had fallen for 4 runs in the space of 33 balls. Alas for the visitors, after just 2 more deliveries, the weather then took the players off again, just when the momentum was switching in their favour. It all means that, going into the last day, Warwickshire are on 294 for 5 with 2 new batsmen at the crease. They still trail by 117 runs.